Megan, it's been such a long time since we last talked. Well, today I have something I'd like to ask you. Do you think you can call me?
Huh? Anita? It's been so long. I think the last time we saw one another was at that high school reunion a while back. Anyways, as for calling you, I'm on the road right now and can't call you to talk right now, but we can text one another still. Does that work for you?
Well, I guess it'll have to do. It was maybe a year ago we had that high school reunion, right? Why didn't you tell me about everything clearly back then?
Tell you everything clearly? What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb with me! At that time you were trying to play things off around me.
I'm sorry, Anita, but I'm not seeing where this is supposed to be going.
I'm talking about when we had that after party after the reunion. I got a message from your boyfriend. And he was talking about how he had plans for you and him to go to a restaurant for your birthday and that he had already reserved you guys' seats. You know about that, right?
Well, now that you mention it, he did take me out for my birthday. And what about that?
That dinner was when he proposed to you and everything, right?
Well, yeah, he did end up proposing to me on my birthday at the dinner. But why do you know all about that?
Well, I wanted to hear it from you that you're going to be marrying him. I heard about this already, but need to confirm.
How did you hear about all of that when I haven't even sent out the invitations yet or anything about us getting married?
Can you stop acting like I don't have my ways? Don't tell me that back then when he was talking about the birthday plans he had for you that he was bragging about proposing to you on that day. I bet that he was doing that because you asked him to as a way of rubbing your man in my face.
Hold on for 1 second, Anita. Why do you think I sent my boyfriend back to you to rub all that in your face? I never meant for anything like that at the party. Actually, at the party, he was just wanting to talk about his plans for me with other people to get their take on it. And I'm sure that it may have just come off as him bragging or myself bragging because he was explaining how happy he was to finally have a chance to propose to me.
Well, you planned all that out to make me jealous.
Why do you think either of us would be bragging in the first place about our relationship? I don't have any reason to be bragging to you or anyone for that matter.
Stop it with all that crap, Megan! I know everything about you and that boyfriend of yours. You stole my fiancé from me, Megan.
Huh? I stole your fiancé? Wait, I have zero idea of what you're getting at now.
You really are so naive. After I learned that you had stolen my fiancé, you still didn't even bother to recognize that and apologize to me. I told you, right? I know more than you think, and that my situation is a lot more complex than you think.
Can you explain to me what you mean by me having stolen your fiancé? I didn't even know that you had been engaged to anyone at that time.
The man that you're planning to marry is the man that I was destined to marry first.
What? You're joking about that, right? Because I remember at the reunion that you said you had a boyfriend of your own and that he was not my boyfriend, right? I mean, he couldn't have been my boyfriend because I've been together with him for 3 years now.
And you stabbed me in the back 3 years ago, you two!
I stabbed you in the back? I am so lost right now. Are you sure that you're not mistaking me and my man for some other couple? Like, you might have the wrong person here.
There's no way I have the wrong person. I have proof that you're with my fiancé from someone that was there with all of you when you guys began planning out the wedding.
What does that mean?
My mom works at that wedding hall. She isn't the one in charge of preparing your wedding, though. Back in high school, you would come over to my house, right?
Was that back when we had that Halloween party at school and after your family let me come over and stay the night?
Yes, and my mom remembered your face from that night. And recently, when she saw you at the wedding hall, she told me that she saw one of my friends there with my fiancé preparing their wedding.
So you're telling me your mom is the one that's witnessed me with your fiancé?
That's right. He is supposed to be my fiancé, yet right now it seems he's going to be marrying you. Why? You give my fiancé back to me right now.
What are you talking about?
Your man is a doctor, right? He's one because the rest of his family is doctors, right? Well, I want to marry him because if I can become his wife, I'll never have to worry about money again. So give me back my happiness.
He is, in fact, a doctor. Are you sure? Are you sure that my fiancé is supposed to be getting married to you?
I know that you're the one that's wanting to steal everything that makes me happy. I am not going to let you get away with this.
Wait a second, though. Can we wait until after you've calmed down and talk about all of this again? I need to talk with my fiancé about all of this as well. Do you think we can all go out and talk about this face-to-face somewhere? Anita?
This is the first time I've ever had to be the one to contact anyone like this. Anyway, I am Anita's mother.
Hello? Is there any reason for why I'm getting contacted by you right now instead of Anita?
Well, because of the current situation at hand right now after you stole my daughter's fiancé from her, I have to be here to talk with you. I have something I'd like to ask of you, and that's why I decided to text you right away instead of let Anita handle everything.
Wait a moment. I never planned to steal Anita's fiancé. And to tell you the truth, I talked with him about Anita and her story, but he told me he doesn't know anything about her.
That's not the case, Megan. I saw you with him very clearly. I saw you with her fiancé when the two of you came to the wedding hall to start planning you guys' wedding out.
Her fiancé? Are you sure that my fiancé doesn't just look similar to hers?
No way. He's definitely her fiancé. I don't remember what his first name is, but that last name of his is pretty rare. So I remember that. And on the day that you came to the wedding hall with him, I was able to see his last name on all the paperwork you both signed.
What? Both myself and my fiancé have no idea what you both are going on about. And for a long time now, I haven't even known that Anita was engaged to anyone yet.
At first, her and her fiancé had broken off wanting to get married.
They broke off getting married?
Anita didn't want to do that, but after talking about marriage and proposing to her, her fiancé later told her he was no longer wanting it. And after that, he stopped talking to her.
You're saying that a little bit after proposing to her, her boyfriend took it back and then left her? Did she actually get proposed to?
She did not. Not in the traditional way, that is. Anita just knew it was implied that he wanted her to be his wife. But now, after learning about you being with him, we understand why after talking about marriage with Anita, he backtracked and then left her. Both Anita and I both knew something was up when he did that to her, and that it wasn't because he didn't like Anita, but for some other reason.
Huh?
I have a reason to think that, right? I know that I'm her mother, but she is such a beautiful woman, Anita. There's no way a man would be leaving someone like her without some far more terrifying reason behind it. But now that I know what that reason is, I'm finally at peace.
That reason?
The reason being that you stole her fiancé from her, and that's why he was forced to break things off and go to you.
I did not steal any man from her.
Do you think you can give up on playing this game with us so that Anita can go back to being my happy baby girl?
What do you mean, give up on playing this game? Are you telling me to give up on wanting to marry my fiancé?
Well, isn't it strange to you that my beautiful girl cannot get married, but you of all people can? That man is supposed to be getting married to my daughter, Megan. His family is all full of doctors, right? If she is able to get with him and become his wife, my whole family will no longer have to worry about money anymore.
Wait, please. I'll tell you again, my fiancé does not know a thing about Anita. It's been 3 years now since we first started going out with one another. In other words, I know my fiancé very well, and he would never lie to me about having anything to do with Anita. And he would never be the kind of man to have 2 different relationships going on at the same time.
And that's because you had your way with him, right? Also that he would stop having relations with my daughter!
Can you please allow me to see Anita in person and talk all of this through properly?
You want to meet with Anita? Right now, that girl has been through so much after being stabbed in the back by both her friend and her fiancé that she's not even willing to go to work anymore. So stop trying to ask anything else of my daughter after all you've done to her!
But if we don't talk this over, then she's going to keep believing something that isn't true. And that will only lead to things becoming far worse between us down the road.
The fact is, you stole my daughter's fiancé from her and left her behind to have your way with her happiness. That's the truth. And I know all that to be true because I saw you with him at the wedding hall. Can I ask that you please stop hurting my daughter any more than you have already?
I am not trying to hurt your daughter in any way, though.
You're going to leave your fiancé so that my daughter can be happy again, right? And then I'm going to change your name on the wedding registry over to Anita and have that wedding you're planning out given to her.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's not only her that wants to be married to that man, but I want that as well for her. If she can become his wife, then even I will no longer have to worry about things like money and can have an early retirement. My husband passed away early, and so I feel that I'll never be able to get out of my line of work. I'm getting tired of having to work in this place, helping others have a happy marriage when I'm the one that wants to be happy for once.
So that's your reason for wanting to change my wedding and hand it over to your daughter, and then have my fiancé marry her during that wedding? That is going way too far.
If only I had just stayed quiet about you and him. Anita would have never been able to find out that you were with her man. Well, too bad for you, Megan. She's so lucky that her mother works at that wedding hall.
Can you please let me talk with Anita? Right now, all I can see happening from what you plan to do is more than just my fiancé and I being hurt.
I told you, right? She is not willing to talk with anyone right now. She knows the truth about everything now, and I'm not going to let you hurt her anymore. You better be ready for the day that we get everything you stole from her back. We're going to make you pay for ever thinking it was okay to steal someone else's fiancé, someone else's wedding, someone else's happiness.
Hold on, though, please. Hey?
Long time no see. Today is the perfect day for a wedding, right? The weather is just right and the sun is shining bright.
It's about time you replied to me. I haven't been able to get anything back from either you or your mother this whole time. I've only wanted for you and I to meet in person so that we can talk all this through in person, but now I'm stressed out because of you.
That's because my mom and I blocked you this whole time. But I thought that I'd unblock you today so that I could give you the news. Ha!
What news?
Someone has to be around to tell the backstabber the news, right?
What are you talking about, Anita?
I know about today, Megan. About how your wedding is supposed to be happening today. I know that because my mom was able to tell me.
How did she find out about the date? My fiancé worked so hard with the staff to make sure to keep all that information private from her and anyone else not related to the wedding. We even made sure to only work on the wedding on days that she wasn't at the hall. Yet, she still found out all the details?
Of course. And all I needed to know was the date of your wedding. Nothing else. Well, I also need to make sure that I'm there so that I can get into your wedding.
What are you thinking of doing?
I'm going to make sure that your wedding is a complete mess.
What? You plan to make my wedding a mess? You have to be joking now, right? If you plan on doing something like that to my wedding, then you're going to end up putting yourself into a bad position. What the heck is that?
That is the ashes of your wedding dress that I burnt up.
You burnt that dress? Like you actually went into the dressing room and burnt the dress yourselves?
My mom was able to get me into the dressing room while nobody was around, and we both worked to burn it to ashes. It was way too easy. A backstabber like you has no use for a dress like this, right? You are the one that stole my fiancé from me, so you deserve to have your dress destroyed. You're not going to complain about it, right? Your wedding's going to be freaking canceled now, you pile of trash.
But I'm already wearing my wedding dress.
Huh? You're wearing your wedding dress right now.
My wedding is starting here soon, and so I had to make sure that I was set for it all a while ago.
What? Wait. But I just burned your dress to a crisp, right?
Are you sure that's actually my dress, though?
Who else's dress would it be? My mom is the one that brought me to this room after all and helped me burn it, and she works here.
So you're telling me that you went into the dressing room with the help of your mom with the intent of burning my wedding dress?
This is my way of getting back at a backstabber like you.
Well, I'm not having my wedding in that wedding hall today.
Huh? What did you just say?
I didn't want to have my wedding at the place your mom worked, so we changed plans.
Wait a second. What do you mean by that?
We were worried by the fact that your mom works there and had a suspicion that she would do something that would cause our wedding to be ruined. So we worked with our specialist to have the wedding moved to a different location that's a part of the same company. Ah, that's right. We made sure to do all of this with the utmost secrecy so that your mom wouldn't be able to find anything else out about what we were doing. So she only knew about the plans we had made before we made changes.
You have to be kidding me. So, in other words, you're telling me that you're not here right now.
Well, that's right. And that also means that the dress I plan to wear today is not being kept there, nor is the dress I plan to wear for the party after.
So then who the hell's dress is this?
I have no clue. But that'd have to be the dress of whoever is planning on having their wedding there today, right?
So then your wedding isn't going to be canceled today, and you'll be able to get married to my fiancé?
Well, about that, Anita. After both your mom and you stopped replying to me, I looked a bit into you both and showed my fiancé. But he told me he had no clue who either of you are.
No matter what he says about us and what you showed him, you are the one that stole my fiancé from me.
Well, actually, that man that you had been dating for a while and then assumed you'd be getting married to before he left you and never replied to you again is someone that I've looked into as well.
You know about him because he's your fiancé.
He's my fiancé's cousin, Anita.
He's your fiancé's cousin? What? His cousin.
For a very long time, he and his cousin have both looked really identical to one another. So much so that even their moms get confused sometimes. And actually, I've met him once before as well, and they sure do look very similar to one another. But of course, if you look close enough at them, they have differences. And his cousin happens to be a bit older, 3 years in fact. However, my fiancé is the same age as you and I are. And if you watch them from afar like your mom did, they both have the same characteristics. I can see why she thought that he was your fiancé when she saw him a little while back.
So you're telling me that your fiancé and mine are both different people? But they are both still doctors, right?
You already know that, right? That both of them live in a family full of doctors?
Well, now that you mention it, you're right. So what you're saying is that this whole time it was all just a misunderstanding?
Well, when I spoke to my fiancé's cousin about you and him, he told me the reason for him leaving you is because after talking about marriage, he learned that you and him valued very different things. That's what led to him saying that you both should find other people.
We value different things? What about what I value is so wrong?
Well, he told me that if he had married you, then you asked him to come and live with you and your mom at her house.
Well, he should be doing that for us, right? I can't just leave my mom by herself to move out of the house and into a house of his own.
But to get to the hospital that he works at from your mom's house would take him over 4 hours a day round trip.
Well, that wouldn't matter to him because he'd have me as his wife and my mom as his in-law.
You also told him to hand over most of his earnings and make you his housewife so that you didn't have to work anymore. And you asked that he make sure to give you 5 kids. And of course, not just those things, but also that within a year of you guys getting married, that he remodels your mom's whole house into a place of your liking. The cost of all that being around $1.7 million.
Well, when you want the house to be all up to date with all the newest systems, as well as have all the smart home features on the market, the price will be that high.
You asked to make sure that the house was made into a place where you didn't even have to put any effort into the chores. Even saying that he could have cleaners come in twice a week to clean it out for you.
Well, I want the place to be spotless all the time, and I'd also like some pros to come in and cook for us every day so that our food is amazing. That should be perfect to him as well, right?
Well, what will you do for him, Anita?
I told him that I'll be his housewife and do the chores.
But you're wanting to have a cleaning service come in as well as pro chefs to cook dinner. From what I see, you're asking for him to give up all his money so that you and your mom can live like royalty while he works all day. That's why he left you, Anita.
What I asked from him is normal. He asked me to tell him what I valued and what I wanted, and I told him everything. I said that I'd do what I could do to support him as well.
Did you listen to what he wanted from you?
Of course I did!
Well, he told me that you didn't listen to anything he said to you.
He has to be BSing then.
He said that all you'd say to him is that he's a doctor, so he should be able to make himself happy and support himself, as well as you and your mom. He was tired of being with you because all you thought about was how with him being a doctor, it meant he could get you anything, and that you wanted everything from him.
But that's...
He has left you now, Anita, so can you please stop trying to talk about him like he's your fiancé?
Where is your wedding? He's the cousin of your fiancé, so he'll be there as well, right? I'm going to come to that wedding right now. I want for all of us, including my fiancé, to talk this over. And I'd like you to help me get back together with him.
You want my help?
If you can help us get married as well, then you and I can become cousins or something, right? We'll both become the wives of doctors. How about you and I get our husbands to build us one huge mansion of our dreams that we can all live in, including my mom?
I'm sorry, but I'm not telling you the location of my wedding. And it's getting time for the event to start anyway, so I'm going to need to get going. But let me tell you this one thing before I go. Your ex does not want to get back together with you, so leave him be.
You're telling me he doesn't want anything to do with me anymore? That's a straight up lie. Hold on a second, Megan. Megan, please answer your phone. I need your help.
There's nothing in this world that I'd be able to help you with, Anita.
Hurry up and get me back together with my ex right now.
I told you that that's going to never happen. He's over ever getting back together with you. So can you please just let him have the peace of mind that he deserves regarding you two?
If you don't get him to come back to me right now, I'm going to be screwed.
Screwed?
I need him to marry me right now so that he can pay off all the money that I owe.
What are you going on about now, Anita?
I am being told that I'm going to have to pay for the dress that I burnt, as well as pay off the settlement that's being asked from me. And the amount they want is massive. I'll never be able to handle all of this on my own.
But you're the one that chose to burn that dress to a crisp, right? It's only fair that they ask you to pay for their dress and whatever else they're upset about.
But that dress was custom made for the bride and tailored by a very famous man. And not only that, but my mom is going to get fired.
Well, that's because she helped you in burning up that dress, right?
Well, we only did that because we thought the dress was yours. Right now, neither of us are going to be able to pay off all this money. So I would like to meet my ex again and have him help us.
So you only want to get married to your ex now so that you can use his money to pay off the settlement you've been asked for?
He's a doctor, so something like that shouldn't be a problem for him, right?
I'm done with this. How much farther are you planning on being a problem for everyone? Because if you're going to take things any farther, I'll just block you and then you really will be without any help. But it's not like that would change anything because even now I have no desire to help you.
What? So you're totally okay with me losing all my money to a couple I don't know?
I do. And that's because you deserve all of that. You did all of this yourself with some help from your mom. So now you have to pay the price for it.
You're my friend though, right? You should be willing to help your friend out just a little, right?
Not only did you misunderstand everything like your mom, but you tried to burn the dress of your so-called friend. I do not need someone like you around me that thinks they can still be friends after that.
Don't say something like that to me. Right now, you haven't had to fall victim to anything, right?
It's not about me being a victim to anything involving all of this or not.
If nobody helps us, my mom and I are going to become homeless. Help us.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to cut all ties I have with you now. I can't be asked to deal with you any more than I already have. After this, the two of you figure something out by yourselves.
This has to be a joke, right? Wait, Megan! I was supposed to become the hot wife of a doctor, but now all my plans are falling apart.
After what had happened, both Anita and her mom tried going around to all their friends and family asking for money to help them out of the hole they were in. However, nobody had the money to help them with the debts they had and told them to find someone else to help them. In the end, they were forced to take out some loans by themselves and are using that money to pay off both the dress and the settlement for the ruined wedding. And to pay off those loans, they are both working completely new jobs, which mainly includes doing odds and ends work or being part-timers. And as for the relations they have between one another, their financial situation has really begun to ruin it, and they're left fighting one another day and night over who needs to be working more and paying more.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.